Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. So we have two events that are related now on the map. One is the Classic at Heart, which is the next leg of the European Series, and its related Showdown, the Classic at Heart Showdown, which allows you to win the Ferrari Enzo. The importance of the Enzo is that it is the lock-in number 5 for Classic at Heart. So if you want any chance of winning the CLK GTR, you either have to have enough Pro Leagues tickets to get the Expo GTX, or you're going to have to get that Enzo from the Showdown. The other lock-ins also relates back to the actual Showdown, because both of these cars, including that one that can be locked in for lock-in number 4, I would say all three cars are also part of the Showdown. Lock-in number 3, the Speedsters, for some reason the Elva Purple Star is not qualified, but the Speedsters otherwise are also part of the Showdown. And then lock-in number 2's 959 SC, another car part of the Showdown. The only car is the lock-in number 1. These cars are not part of the Showdown. As far as advice on lock-ins, let's talk about that real quick. I would lock in your best car in the fastest tier as the top option, but if it came between a tier 3 that is fully built versus a tier 5 that's missing a ton of stuff, I would say take the tier 3 fully built over a higher tier car that is not fully built. But if you have higher tier cars that are fully built, or elite tuner versions that are elite sufficiently, they would still be your top choice over other options. The better the first car is, the less overall the rest of the cars have to be for the relays, but that does not mean that you can get away with very partially built cars for the rest of the lock-ins. The event won't be that easy. And again, this is a standard event where starting at race 60, you will see 62, 61, 62, 63, 64 will be a bunch of hurdles. Then the next set of hurdles will be at 71, 72, 73, and finally 79. Knowing what we know so far about the way the events have been happening, I think lock-in number 5, you may be able to get through at stage 5 only. The Enzo is actually a good car, so much like the McLaren GT3, if you have it at stage 5 only, there's a good chance the final lock-in runs will be okay. So your real focus is everything from 76 back. And 76 in the last event was lock-in number 1. It was a speed trap. So that makes this easy if you get a fully maxed car here. So that's the lock-ins. That's the basic point of this event is, again, lock-in 1 is the only flexible one. Lock-in number 3 and 4 and 5 and 2 are really not that flexible. You're talking about one car here, 1 or 2 or 3 cars here, but for most of us that for example, on my second account, it will be the Monza SP2. Not everybody has everything, but understand that SP2 is the slowest out of the 3, the Elva being the fastest and the V12 Speedster being very close. So if you have those two built, I would pick it over the Monza as far as the lock-in is concerned. And then lock-in number 4, where you have the Zonda HP 911 MC12. Now, the Zonda HP may be locked out on some accounts if you used it in the last event. So if you use it in this event, you can be pretty sure that it'll be locked out the next time an event comes around, the next leg, if this car is a possible usable car. I don't know why this car is so special and it's getting into all these, but bottom line is, if you use it, it might be done. If you have the 911 GT3, it is a lock-in option, but understand that there's no way they're going to let you through this without some stage 6s. So between these two, I would probably consider the Zonda. But we also have to look ahead to future events. If you don't have other options and the future lock-ins may involve the Zonda, it'll no longer be usable. So keep that in mind. I don't have the MC12, so naturally my plan is to use the Zonda for that one. And finally, we should go talk about the Showdown, because lock-in number 5 is acquired through the Showdown. So Showdown is really straightforward. You want to be able to get to 2100 to get all the tickets, 1300 to get the car, and that's it. Knowing what we know so far about this type of Showdown, they've always been based on dyno, which is great because it gives you a better shot at getting to to 1300 with the car that is not fully maxed. Just to give you a heads up, the cars that'll beat dyno easily or is down tunable are the Monza, Zonda, and 959. The 911 GT3, the V12 Speedster, and I don't know about the rest of those since I don't have them yet. And for some reason, again, the Purple Star Elva is not available. If you were to run a maxed car and you don't have this, I think the Elva would be the next best choice. But if we're just looking to get the 1300, I think any one of these three with a proper setup, down-tuned or not, down-tuned setup for definitely for the Tier 4 car, and you can get there. Notice they also let me use the Fast and Furious 959, not Fast and Furious, what am I saying? The Porsche event 959 Tier 5 in this. This is not that quick a car, so it's not a top choice, but if it's down-tunable, again, this is another option. So bottom line is 1300 is probably reachable with some dyno adjustment cars for those who don't have max cars. But if you have a max car that is fast enough, you should be able to get through anyway without any issues. The downside to this whole thing again is so the event cars from past events are directly related to the Showdown. So if you don't have any of these cars, you will not be able to participate. What is being thrown around on Reddit and other sources is that the 959 SC will be available for gold. That's good. If you can pick it up for gold, pick it up. It's actually one of the best Porsches in the game. Certainly a great Tier 4 that beats Tempest 3 and is all around a decent car, but Porsche Fusions, Porsche parts, it's not the easiest car to build. So 959 SC again, also dyno beating naturally with shift pattern and dyno beating with tuning. So it's a very flexible car that I can probably play with to kind of find my way into 1300 range. 2100 might be a little tougher, but you know, it'd be nice to get those tickets. Bottom line is, they're tickets. They're going to be a prize car and another prize car, which is the CLK GTR. Sadly, the CLK GTR, unlike the R18 e-tron, isn't that great once built. It's not a bad car, but it's certainly not as viable as the R18 e-tron overall. Whereas the Ferrari Enzo, though, is a very good car, and I think, in my opinion, for anyone who can actually get that far, this is a must-have. Definitely try to get your hands on this car. So that's my quick take on these two events. Not a lot of flexibility in these events, and depending on the difficulty, most of these cars are going to have to be decently, if not very well built, in order to be sure that you can make it through. We'll see when the event is live and I actually run it, how much difficulties we have. But if you have any other information or suggestions, feel free to share them. Any questions, ask in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Again, thank you for watching my video. I appreciate any feedback that you can give. If you like the video, leave a like. If you don't like it, leave a dislike. If you like my channel, want to get notifications when I put up these videos, subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll get notified when I put them up. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.